Trying to work. Okay, first the freaking neighbor next door, okay, installed a freaking window unit that sounds like a chainsaw. Well, luckily they turned that off, and now everybody wants to do everything while I'm trying to finish up my day, squeeze out a couple more hours. And speaking of which, let me clock in. And mess up what I'm trying to do here. Alright. So I'm just going to give this a quick once over. I've already read it. He just says this is a revised version, so... Alright. So I'm just going to copy that, paste it right in here. Have a quick look. Looks pretty good. And I'm going to make a new category. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click add category, and we're going to add his new adventure of the week post. Add that in, and that'll automatically add as the primary doodad there now. I'm doing my Yoast SEO right now. I'll explain in a moment. Let me get this crafted first. So what I do here is, so I set the focus keyword to be Lucky 13 Lure. And the way you want to set up your SEO for a blog post is that you want to have that in the title, in the URL, and in the meta description. Hey, Bionic Vapor, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by, yo. Alright, so... this is a bit long. Take this off. Actually, I'll take this off too. The important thing is that we want that keyword to stay in there. And we're trying to turn this dot right here green, because we are slaves to Google. 4-hour stream. Wow. That sounds like fun. What'd you play? Fortnite? Alright, so far we only have one good result. That's not good. Alright, so we've got it here in our description there, and let's shorten this up a bit. Ugh. You know, sometimes it's so weird because I have some clients that I do work for, and this can be like lines and lines. I mean, it's ridiculous how much stuff you can put in here. These people with their long URLs. Nope, for the king. That's a new one. Of course, I'm not a gamer in the strictest sense of the word, so it's not like I, am on the up and up of all the games out there. Alright, so we need to figure out how to shorten this up so this little bar is green. Just cast my monkey. There's just, it's only cutting off like the .com, so I'm going to let it ride because I just don't see any way to shorten that up. New for the king. Sounds interesting. Is it like a city builder or something? Back in the day, I used to play like those city builder games. There was this one. It was called Pharaoh. I actually have it installed on this machine because I took a turn at playing it again a year or so ago, probably. A super old game, like late 90s PC. Pharaoh, and then I had like the Cleopatra upgrade or whatever. So the one I have on my computer is like the Pharaoh Gold or whatever. It was like everything that was ever made for the game. And it's just not as fun as it was when I was in college. Man, I probably spent... I mean, there were times when I didn't do anything but play that stupid game the whole weekend. It was ridiculous. Alright. Let's go find a picture. I'm going to save this as a draft and see if our SEO is in any better shape than it seems to be. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go find a royalty-free photo of that Lucky 13. We're going to go Images, Tools, Labeled for Reuse, and see if we can find anything. Okay, so I know this lure is used for bass fishing, so we're going to go for that. We'll see if there's a nice picture of a bass. That one's pretty nice. Ugh, but that Max Pixel site is a pain in the rear. I like that one pretty good. That one's even better. We're going to grab this. Just for the record, anything .mil is like public domain. So you can use those photos. Alright, I'm going to dress this up in Canva real quick. So, going to go in Canva and we're going to make a blog title. Woohoo! Thanks for stopping by, Bionic Vapor. I don't know. He didn't answer, or I didn't get it. He said, yes, it's new. They must have bailed. That's cool. He stops by me a lot more times than I stop by him. I really need to get over there and check out his stream. Seems like I'm always working when he's streaming. Alright, so I'm doing the blog title here, and I'm going to go to Uploads. Click that green button. I'm going to upload my image that I just downloaded to use. Let it load. Click it. And we're going to stretch it out so it fits here. Nice. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some text here. It's going to say, come on. Just chilling. Yeah, well, I guess so. After 4 hours of streaming, my brain would be a complete noodle. Sometimes, like, I'll play, like, a stupid game or something on my phone before, because, like, I sit around for, like, an hour before I start working, and, you know, kind of let the coffee kick in, that kind of thing. And I found, like, if I play a game before I work, like, it just kind of makes me dumb for a while. I mean, I'm not saying anything against, you know, gaming, but it you know, it can be a lot of mental, you know, it can be mentally taxing to play games. This is going to sound like a complete lie, but I've never done such a clickbaity title before. Alright, let's do something interesting. Let's pick a font. One of the cool things about Canva is if you have a font in here that you like using, all of these are commercial, you know, free for commercial use. They're Google fonts. So these you can pretty much guarantee that you can use them. So there's that. Now I'm going to add, I always like to add in the URL to my image. When you drag it around, it gives you that little dotted line, lets you know it's centered. I like it. PNG, gonna download it. And we'll go back over here so we can upload it to our post. So yeah, you can actually go out and find those Google fonts. Just do a Google of the name that's in Canva, and you can actually find those. Free to use, and you're allowed to use them commercially. So, alright, so I'm just going to upload my image I just made. We're going to set that as our featured image. And I'm going to go back. For some reason, yeah, it hasn't been loading this right here. Again, this is a SEO thing. So for my alt text on my image, I'm going to put my focus keyword in there. And that turns our light green, which means we're rocking and rolling on this and we're ready to go with it. Focus keyword, blah, blah, blah. You know, any of these that you can update and fix is a plus. But as long as you got that green, you're good to go. If you just can't do anything, is going to be a plus in the right direction. But if you can't fix them all, don't sweat it. I never sweat the readability one, this one, because don't tell me what to say and don't tell me to write for third graders, because people need to get smarter, not dumber. All right, just my personal opinion. So this is good. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. He's trying to get a few of these up to get some interest. So let's publish that first one. Let's see. He might have sent us another one. I'm not sure. Let's get this out of the way. So let's see what we got here. He sent us another one. Let's download it. Let's close this one because we're done with it. No, don't save it. And I'm going to chuck that in the trash. I'm going to chuck this in the trash. Let's open this up, have a look at it, because we're going to go ahead and publish this one as well. Let's check our post, see what it looks like. View post. Oh, yeah, it looks nice. I like the picture. Good, good, good. Nice. Except I don't think we have a Facebook, a Twitter, or a Pinterest. But whatever. Well, that's for people to share. It's not for us anyway. So, yeah. Looks pretty good. Blog page is kind of plain, though, isn't it? Oh, well. Cool. Okay, so let's proof this one so we can get it on up here, too. Flat bottom boat. McHenry Creek and a small pond on Lockhart Lane. Swimming, it's a way of life for our family. We grew up around water. Yeah, the readability, it's like a new thing they've just added to the SEO stuff. Like in the last year, they want it to be like 5th grade level or 6th grade level and below or some garbage. I'm just giving this a quick run through. Yeah, I remember when I used to work I had a job as a technical writer. I lived in Las Vegas for 4.5 years. And I worked as a technical writer out there for a heavy equipment rental company. And they had, so the staff there, they had a variety. They had Hispanics, they had, and of course they had white people. Yeah, so they had both. And everyone, had varying levels of education and, different backgrounds and that kind of thing. So some people, obviously didn't read as good as other ones, or, necessarily, sometimes they didn't read the language that something was written in, or, they could, a lot of times you can understand a language spoken before you can read it or write it. So I worked in the training department. They had us create training materials in both written and audio format. Well, the written had to be at a 3rd grade level so that everyone could understand it, which, I think is a good thing, as far as, especially in like an environment where safety is involved and you're doing, people need to be able to understand what they're supposed to be doing as far as a job and that kind of thing. But if I'm writing a blog post, I can't remember the last time I wrote for 3rd graders or 6th graders for that matter. Most of the things that I write are going to be, like probably 17 and above. And that's not because it's, a language thing or anything. It's simply because I don't write kids stuff. So if I'm going to be talking about, search engine optimization, I shouldn't have to put that on a 6th grade level. If some 6th grader wants to know that, and there's some smart kids out there, I'm sure there are 6th graders out there that know probably more about it than I do. But if they do, then I probably don't need to be writing it on a 6th grade level. It just doesn't make sense. That readability crap is just stupid, in my opinion. Whatever, watch, it'll come back and bite me in the ass. Suddenly Google will decide that it's super important that everything be on a certain whatever. Alright, so what are we talking about in this one? Swimming. I'm just going to retype this instead of... I can retype this faster than going through and clicking next to everything and making it capital. I'd rather retype it. McHenry Creek and a small pond on Lockhart Lane. So this one is about swimming. Grew up around water and simply felt the need to be in it as much as possible. Most of the time these activities took place during summertime. But when you're passionate as we are, there can be exceptions. The title indicates our swimming pools. As we grew up, we had a small aluminum boat leaning against the back fence when we lived on Lawson Road. Back in the early 1960s, one day in July, our dad drug it up near the house and filled it with water. We used it all summer. You could have never convinced us we were not having fun. We have lived up and down McHenry our entire lives. Carla and I continue to cross it every day, going and coming from work. There are many larger holes that could be used as a swimming hole, and when we were young, we took advantage of it whenever we could. When I was 12, we built a house farther out Colonel Glen on Lockhart Lake. Now, is it Lockhart with a K? Yeah. Lockhart Lake. Lane. Ugh. My brain. It was actually the driveway. I think driveway is all one word. It was actually the driveway for the Bub and L.V. Lockhart clan. On the back of our 3 acres, McHenry Creek bubbled out of the ground as a spring. The first year or so, we borrowed a friend's small bulldozer and dug our pond. The wonderful swimming pool stayed clear due to McHenry flowing through it. The spring water also kept it very cool. We have many friends from the Martindale area that would spend hours with us in the Bryant Community Oasis. It was wintertime when we finished digging out the pond. It filled up and started flowing over the spillway in about a week. It was a beautiful sight to behold. On one corner, there was a giant oak tree. One of the larger limbs reached out almost to the water's edge. One afternoon, I was daydreaming with great anticipation about the many fun days we would spend there. I was standing under the big oak. I looked up and was suddenly stricken with the greatest idea of my young existence. I ran to the house as fast as I could. Jerry saw me and asked what was wrong. I informed him that everything was just right and to get some cutoffs on quickly. cutoffs. That's a universal southern bathing suit. Some old cutoff jeans. In about 3 minutes, we were climbing the oak to the large limb. You had to be careful and agile at this point. Remember, the limb we were now standing on did not fully reach the water line. It was about 20 feet above the ground, but if you used the spring action of the limb, you could launch yourself out to completely clear. You could launch yourself out to completely clear of the bank. Launch yourself completely clear of the bank. We weren't engineers, but it appeared our plan would work anyway. I was testing the spring of the limb and suddenly bent my knees and pushed off as hard as I could. Four nines and a 10 as my perfect dive barely made a ripple on the surface. Ugh. It's Friday. You can tell it's nearing the end of Friday. My brain is mush. I had barely returned to the surface when I saw Jerry disappear into the frigid water. He only received 9, so I was indeed the champion. The current problem is that it was about 39 degrees air temp, and now we are wet and running as fast as possible back to the house. I told him next time we must remember to bring towels. We can wait until tomorrow. Yeah, I wouldn't be in there 39 degrees. Let's see. Let's go ahead and set our category. Gosh, I just, none of these, this is all about swimming, and the title is nothing about swimming. I'm going to put McHenry Creek in there because that's the name of our website, and if, you know, all else fails, that makes a great keyword. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this. Good there. Again, I'm just working on my SEO here. So I just do a quick, you know, few sentence synopsis and a call to action. And then make sure I put the focus keyword in. So we're already green here, so we're doing great. We haven't even added an image yet. So let's go ahead and go do that. Let's see what we can find in the way of, do I have some, yeah, I've got this still pulled up here. So I just do Google image search, okay? Bear with me. No, I'm not just going to use any old image off Google Images. Swimming hole. Alright, so I've got images, and then I've clicked tools and selected labeled for reuse. And what I'm on the lookout for here are images from sites that I know are royalty free. PX here is one. Pixabay is one. Pexels is one. You can usually get away with using these Wikimedia Commons ones as well, as long as you attribute the photographer correctly. Same goes with Flickr. So I'm just looking for a good picture of a swimming hole here, preferably with some people in it, that looks creaky and southern. Not having a lot of luck. Let's see what we got here. Well, it looks creaky. There's people in it. Let's visit, see what some rights reserved. Now this is usually going to be labeled for reuse with attribution. So let's see, you're free to share, copy, redistribute, remix, transform. The licensor cannot revoke these free under the following. So I need to give appropriate credit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this link here, and I'm going to stick that into a short link. I just was using this the other day, and they're trying to say they're shutting this down. Look, they've already removed the ability to add a link in here already. Yeah, shorten. I want to shorten. No, I'm not a developer. Why can't I trick top? Alright. Well, I don't need you, Google. I just need a shorter link. I don't want to track it or any of that crap. Just, yeah. Alright, so when we put this into, I'm going to pull up Notepad just so I can save that there. So when we put this into our post, we're going to caption it with the credit to that photographer. So I'm just going to bump over here to Canva, and I'm going to create another blog title. Uploads. We can go ahead and delete this one we've already used. I've already used this one. And I'm going to upload my picture of my swimming hole. And we're going to click it so it adds right into our image here. And that's about as good as it's going to get. I'm going to move it up like that. So I have room down here to put my title in. And then we're going to bump back over here. And we're going to put our text in. Now, what do I want to say here? Summer is a good swimming hole. So is winter. Alright, gotta read the story. Alright, let's select a font. As I said before, all of the fonts in Canva, if you're just looking for a quick something to use, you can find them. They're Google fonts and you're able to use them commercially. So just FYI. Let's this down a bit. And I'm going to put a shape, a colored shape in behind it to make that text stick out a little more. We're going to make this black. We're going to make it the width we need here. And I'm going to arrange it back, and I'm going to make it transparent somewhat. Now, let me get it all centered, and you can see that dotted line appears once you're centered. There's that. And we're going to add our branding on here. I always like to add the URL. And stretch that out a bit so it all fits. Bold it, and I want it white. I'm going to put it right there. Cool. Okay, so download. And let's go over here to our... We're going to upload it. Alright, let's go ahead and then we'll click back into it and see if it won't. Alright, I'm just going to put my image credit in. There we go. Save that, and then we want to put in our word, our focus keyword as the alt text. That is SEO. And I believe we're good to go with this post. And so I'm going to go ahead and publish. And we'll have a look. Yep. Well, that came out off center. Stupid. Let's close this. Don't save. And good to go. So that's going to do it. I just, formatting a couple blog posts for a client. And if my name's Ava. I work full-time as a virtual assistant from my home. So if you're interested in learning what that looks like, I would appreciate a follow. So you get notified when I'm live. And that's going to do it for this stream. I look forward to connecting with you in the future via Twitch, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, Bionic Vapor.